Hello, Renee Flamond here. If you were raised as I was, I hope parents generally try to raise their kids to be polite, right? So we go forth and we're told and taught, you know, the two things we're not supposed to discuss, religion and politics, which, oh my God, in this day and age, that's kind of gone to bits, hasn't it? But I still generally won't get into anything around those two topics with anybody. And we're told, don't, when you meet people, be polite, please, thank you, napkin on the knee, good posture. And when you meet people, not only be polite, but you don't want to ask too many questions. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like you're supposed to be polite and forthcoming, but not interrogate people. And I think that kind of stays with us. And we get older, and when we meet people, we're afraid to ask questions. It feels impolite. It feels like we're interrogating. It feels like we are, a prosecutor or a police officer. You don't want to just ask questions to somebody. It feels wrong, right? It feels wrong. When we're meeting new people, especially following this narcissist business, I want to discuss there is a fine line between interrogation, and you have a right to ask questions and get to know the person that you're getting to know. In the getting to know stages is when the questions and stuff, that should be permitted. You're getting to know each other, right? And I don't mean what's your favorite color. I mean, I let things unfold. I don't mean fire off a bunch of questions. What I'm talking about is if you see something or sense something or heard something and you thought it was off, stop and ask right then. Well, I'm sorry, but didn't you just say 5 minutes ago that if it contradicts, it's easy, right then do it. And again, I'm not talking about firing off questions. For example, like people always ask, what do you do? I never ask that. Like when people meet each other on a date or you see in the movies, so what do you do? I don't like that question. I just think, I don't know, I think I like things to unfold. I like to figure out if I like someone or am drawn to this person, regardless of what they do. I made a whole video on that because sometimes what somebody does can make your opinion sway one way or the other depending on what they do, right? They tell you they save lives for a living, you're going to think they're a good person. They tell you that they're a criminal, you're going to think they're a bad person. They tell you that, you know what I mean? So I'm doing extremes here, but I don't even ask, what do you do? Everything unfolds. But what I have learned to do is as things are unfolding, if I don't like the sound of something, I have gone like this. I have to say something like this entire hour. I've observed that it seems that you were talking, I don't know, I don't want to, but the specifics don't matter. And then the person, oh, did I really? Now that either gets resolved as a simple misunderstanding, or you might stumble upon a personality trait you don't like that you're seeing, and their explanation will reveal it as either a blunder or a personality trait or a truth that you don't like. Or the only way we can come upon any of this, hi honey, good morning again, is by asking questions. You have the right moving forward with all people. We've all known narcissists now, and we've all known narcissists that haven't been our partners. They're in life too. So going forward, in an effort to unseal the truth, know the truth, learn the truth, we have to navigate elegantly so as to not come off interrogatively or like a police officer or a detective. But we have a right to ask questions, gather information, ask them to slow down. Stay on one topic until its completion. Back up if you need to. God, if those 3 things alone, if I did with the narcissist, I would have learned a lot more, a lot quicker. But we don't. We don't want to be impolite. We don't want to be rude. We don't want to indicate to this person that we don't even know yet that we wouldn't be so brash as to doubt something that they say or double check it or make them repeat it. We don't want to sound rude. You're gathering truth. You're protecting yourself. And you can explain as little or as much as you want to as to why you're doing that. It doesn't have to be not nice. You could simply say, let them finish and say, can I ask something? And I just want you to understand, you could say something like this, maybe a 30-second elevator pitch. I just want you to understand going forward, I'm very careful and I'm very exact because I have been in the past led to believe things that didn't turn out to be true. You don't even have to say it's with a romantic partner. You don't have to say the word narcissist. You don't have to say anything. That could have been a family, a friend, a partner. You could just say, I've learned to be very careful and I like clarification on a couple of things. 5 minutes ago you said this, that you lived in a tenement house growing up, but you just mentioned you grew up in the country. Oh, well, it was a weekend house that I went to my cousins at the pond. Okay, that's fine. That's real, because that was my life that I just said. I did grow up in a tenement house in a city, but my cousin, best friend, best cousin, who's still in my life now, she lived in the country and at a pond in her yard. Of course I was there every weekend all summer. So I'm saying you might uncover a truth, but if something doesn't sit well with you, like that little thing that could have been a blow up for them, that could have been a lie in their case, and you would have known. They would have said, instead of an answer like mine, they would have said, oh, well, I mean, you can tell. You can tell by the speed with which they answer you. You can tell by if it's more word salad or the story goes off in a left direction with a lot of details that are not at all pertinent to the topic at hand. Like, well, I mean, I guess, yeah, when I was really little, it was a tenement, and it was the kind, my grandfather built one once with his own hand. He was from Italy, and they'll go off on a tangent to get you away from the topic. They'll do that all the time. So don't let them do that when you're asking questions. But I would say that this is something that I will always do going forward. Once I started to ask questions with my narcissist, I never stopped. So even if you're still with your narcissist, this applies. But especially effective to those of you that are coming off this kind of relationship as you move forward. You have a right to ask anybody anything. And if you do challenge and you feel it's okay to do so, oh, so you say you were in the armed forces. What branch? If they fumble, boom. That one is easy. It's public record. So if they lie about being in the service, not only are they a jerk, but they're dumb. Because that's an easy one you can check on. But you can challenge, and like I said, if they fumble, boom, you got them. But anything. Ask. If something doesn't add up, or you see something that doesn't sit well, say it. Or maybe it's enough you saw it and you're done. If not, then maybe don't say it. Just know that you're done and you're just getting to know them and you're like, yep, that's not going to fly. I don't like that part of his personality. You don't have to shred them. It's lovely to meet you. Have a good one. And be on your merry way. I'm not saying we're out here to fix the world and give our constructive criticism to everybody. But if you're getting to know someone and there is clearly something here and they're trying to get to know you and you're investing your time, you have a right to know exactly who's sitting across from you. My God, please don't even. Because I can hear people say, well, yeah, but, it sounds a little nosy. No, like I said before, no. This is the time, the getting to know a person time, is where questions and clarification should be more than permitted without it being conceived as nosy. You're not pulling the wool over my eyes anymore. Nobody ever will. And I don't come off like this when I'm getting to know people. I'm getting a little about the topic because I think about how they lie and it gets exasperated. Sorry. I feel that I will never again allow information to slip by. Now, I'm not saying you do this with every person you ever meet in life. If I meet a friend of a friend and they're not going to be in my life and they seem to be a blowhard, I don't feel the need to challenge that person. That's not me at all. I don't get online and argue with people and no, That's not what I mean. I'm talking about if somebody is in your space and wanting to earn a space in your space. Earn. Make them earn it. Don't just give them a space across from you. It's an honored position. You're choosing to spend your time with this person. You have a right to make sure they're worthy of your time and that space, or that they're even maybe not meant for you. This is the time you get to know each other. Don't be timid to ask questions because you think, oh, he's not going to like if I ask that, or he might not like me, or I don't care, so then they don't like you. So then they're not for you if you can't even ask one question or 10. And you know what? If you present them with a 30-second elevator pitch, which I gave you an example of and just said something like, I hope you don't mind, but for my own reasons, I have to be very careful going forward. So if something doesn't sound right, I'd like to get it clarified. Do you mind? No, go right ahead. A man's man or a woman's woman who's salt of the earth, they're going to go, no, ask me. If somebody said that to me, I'd go, no, ask whatever, what do you need? Ask whatever you want. I understand. Okay. And I would say, a non-disordered person, if somebody said that to me and came at me that way, I would respect that they've been through something that's private. They'll share it with me when they need to. But as I always say, the details don't matter. And to me in that situation, the details wouldn't matter. They've asked me to respect their stance, that it's important for them to get clarification on something I said. I'm going to go with it and give them that benefit of the doubt. If you meet a good person, they're going to think the same about you. And they're going to see that you're trying to give yourself the respect you deserve and the self-respect that you now have. And they're going to either, if they get flippant, narcissist, jerk, turkey brain, whatever, let them go. But if it's a mature person with any kind of sympathetic ear, they're going to hear what you said. And they're going to know that you might need a little bit more detail or whatever regarding a story they tried to go over. Like I said, the 3 things alone would have made us catch the narcissist if we made them, God forbid, slow down, stay on one topic until completion would have been a big one. Or if I ever made him just back up a little bit. What'd you say? Nope, we let them go on and on, one topic to the next. Nothing's ever finished. Everything's all jumbled. You never know what's true. You don't even remember. Wait, you lived where? What happened? Wait, you were married when? I'm sorry, where did you live when you said this? And what boat? And what? Slow down. I don't need to know all that. But I do want to go forth with a person that is exactly who they portray that they are. I'm not saying somebody has to come in and tell you everything about themselves, but if they are telling you a story or an aspect of their life, you have a right to get it in completion. Oh, I was married, but so wait a minute. So what do you mean? What happened? Women can be, you opened this. You started this. Do you want to let me know what happened or not? I'd rather not tell you it's personal at this time. I would rather get that sentence than, she did. They're going to lie or come up with some half-brain story or try not to answer it and dance around it. You can tell by the way somebody comes back at you if you simply say, I'm sorry, what? It's not right that they are allowed to maneuver, and when I say they, I mean the narcissist, because that's how they get in, is that we didn't want to ask any questions. And we didn't want them not to like us because they were already being so damn charming. If we had allowed ourselves to ask any question that we had, we might have discovered things a lot sooner than we even did, if we just didn't even like their answers, right? I mean, we have to allow for that. Any answer to any question that I can now envision I could have asked my narcissist would have been a completely unattractive, idiotic answer. And I might have been like, oh my God, this guy is off his rocker. But we don't say anything. We don't say anything. This is your life. This is your company. Your life. You're allowing them into your family, friends, circle, space. You have 100% right to know exactly who's coming into that space. And don't ever let them make you feel differently.